All right, we got 11:30, so it's time to get started. I'm coming to you side of the freeway here. I stopped off at a gas station so that I could present this. I'm excited about this actually. I was putting this together this morning and it's actually great information. This is the pro tip today. I got some slides for you. It's about being their partner rather than their processor. All right, so it's a different reframing. Let me share my screen. You want to reframe differently. Okay, keynote. There we go. So, Morgan, do you see that screen?
Yes, I do.
All right, tell me if it starts to get pixelated. I can do it without the slides because I am using my phone as my Wi Fi. So, pro tip, move from processor to their partner. And it's positioning dual pricing as a strategic business move rather than as a savings. One of the plateaus we all come into is we hit walls and we keep pitching instead of advising. Same with funding, same with processing, same with our opportunity. We don't want to pitch what we've got. We want to almost come along from a phase of service and consulting. Success comes from shifting into a consultant mindset. See, they're busy running their restaurant, or they're busy doing massages in their salon, or they're busy putting roofs on roofs. They're not busy researching payment processors or funding, etc. So we come along, we become their experts. So you're not selling them terminals or POS systems or savings. Sometimes you are. Promote profit instead. That comes from a profit strategy. Frame dual pricing as a profit strategy, a way to offset the increase in prices, a way to offset the reduction in profit from prices going up, way to offset the increase in labor costs. Think like a CMO. So don't just lead with we'll save you money. Of course, it's okay to save that as long as you pivot and you're more focused on helping them redirect that 20 grand they're spending in fees into their business. A CMO, a chief marketing officer, is going to talk about conversion of sales. A chief financial officer is going to look at what allocation of capital they have, how to allocate the money they do have coming in. That's what business ownership is learning how to, just like a family has a budget, business ownership is allocating your capital. That means the money coming in versus the money going out, right? And so you're helping them get more capital to allocate. That's how you want to think about not just savings. Most people are just yawn with savings. They don't yawn with what if you could redirect 20 grand. So give them a quote of savings is not the goal. The goal is to not just get the quote accepted. The goal is to get the owner to say, write this down. This is a smarter way to run my business. That's the biggest pro tip of the day. If you can get them saying it's just a smarter way to run my business, then you've done your job of helping them frame this into what it can be for their company. So be their business advisor, sell the vision of what it's going to look like before the numbers. Okay, let them picture the upgrades, the raises, the expansions, then show them the quote. In other words, if you know they're spending $3,000 a month because you asked them, and they're spending $3,000 a month, that's 36 grand a year. You could ask them, how would you allocate that 36,000? What would you do with that? Would that be raises to your family, to your own personal income because you're not making enough? Would it be you can get a new truck for your business? Would it be you can give raises to your team? Would it be you could update that oven? What is that 36 grand going to do to you? So you help them look at the desired outcome, not just a number. $36,000 savings doesn't really. So get them imagining, get them thinking about their desired outcome. So when it says role play, what would that 30K look like? Role play that with them. Ask them, what do you think you would do with 30,000? How does that 30,000 impact your business? Does that give you a competitive advantage? What do you think? This is pretty simple. Now, if you need some other advice on what to say, obviously you can contact your enroller or you can go and do some role playing with chat. And you can ask some mindset questions. What would you do with the extra 30,000? These are your big ones. How do you evaluate your operational costs? So I don't use the word evaluate, but I do say, how are you handling the changes in pricing? How are you handling the increase in wages? How are you handling the increase in prices of your supplies? Your supply chain is gone more expensive. Are you passing that on to your customer? What are you doing? Have your customers received it okay? As your rent going up, I mean, talk to them the same way you would talk if it was your brother and they came to you for advice on how to grow their business. Okay? Really, really simple. And what that does is it puts you in a position that you're on their side. You got it. It's called same side selling. Same side selling. And there's some great videos out there on YouTube. There's a great book called Same Side Selling, and it's really how to get in the eyes or the mind of the person you're talking to rather than having commission breath. So many people when they're brand new have commission breath. We're so excited about what we're going to earn or what our solution is, we forget that we're talking to a person and they have thoughts and they don't share them all with us, but they have them. So when you can try to take the position with them, and you could say, like, if they don't even bring up customer concerns, say, one of the biggest things we hear with this is people are concerned about their customers. Do you have that concern yourself at all? No, not at all. Or, yeah, I'm kind of thinking they might be upset. Then you go through the feel, felt, found from the scripts, right? I know how you feel. I felt the same way. I was a little concerned myself. And we had other businesses that felt the same way, and they decided to give it a try because just so you know, we can move you back to standard processing at any time. So it's a risk-free move. We can move you back. But what they found with taking that step is nobody complains about it. Customers don't complain. Now, if you've got a $20,000 ticket item, they may fret that it's 20,800. But if you let them know in advance, hey, you're paying that 4%. So you got to pass it on to them. They got if they're choosing to use credit card. So let them know that in advance that credit card, a lot of people want their points, but they don't realize their points are costing you 3% of the sale. So you sell that $4,000 item, you're not getting $4,000, right? So it's okay to tell them that. It's okay to give them that counsel. Okay? So that's the pro tip today. Make sure they're walking away from the conversation saying what? That's a smarter way of doing business. It's a smarter way of doing business. And here's an analogy I just got. I just drove home from Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, and as I'm putting in my GPS map on how to get home, it says, "Do you want to go on toll roads or no?" And I looked, and the toll roads were it's going to cost like $20 to do toll roads, but it was going to save me 2 hours. I'll do the toll roads. But what if it wasn't going to save me 2 hours? What if it was the same amount of time? I would have went the non-toll roads. It's a smarter way to drive home because that $20 is a savings, yeah. But if it's a business, if I was driving that every day, and I've been doing that now for years, and a free road opened up. There's a free way to do it. And I've been spending $3,000 a month to drive that route every month. And you tell me there's a free route, that's a smarter road to drive, right? You wouldn't take the toll road if the roads were identical, right next to each other, same amount of time. You weren't sitting in traffic on the free road versus the toll. Everything was the same. Everything was identical. One, you just had to spend $3,000. It'd be stupid to keep doing that, right? So help them see this is just a smarter way of running their business. Don't look at this as just a savings. Look at this as a smart way to allocate that current lack of profit into profit. Right. Any questions from anybody today about this mindset or this strategy? If not, it's a smarter way of doing business, and it's a smarter way for you to do this business. Now, I'm going to get back on the road, but don't forget tonight, Nick Dehame is doing a fantastic BizOp overview. We updated the slides yesterday. They're the best slides we've ever had. I recorded the video yesterday afternoon. It's now on your partner page. We also posted in Facebook for people to watch. Watch it if you haven't seen it already, and attend tonight's new slides. It's going to be unbelievable. Not going to take your question now because we already closed that out. The time has passed. So if you want to type it in support, they can answer it for you quick. But we're going to get moving forward. But tonight, I highly encourage you have some people on tonight's BizOp overview. We're growing. Nick's going to knock it out of the park. I'll be there as well watching. And I'm trying to get people there myself. All right, I'm going to run now. God bless you all. Let's get out there and be advisors to our clients, not savings consultants.